Hello, I am Brian Foster, and I'm talking about Spiritism. Spiritism was codified by Allan Kardec in the 1850s. It presents to you a whole new flow of information as brought to us by the Spirit of Truth, as promised in the New Testament, of what heaven is, why we're on earth, how reincarnation and karma works. And I suggest you learn more about it by getting in my free PDF on my website, nwspiritism.com, Spiritism 101, the Third Revelation. You can download it for free. It's on the right-hand side navigation bar. Now today I want to talk about a concept brought to us by a spirit who talked to a medium, and his story is in the book Through the Mist. I have a link down below. The spirit remained nameless, and he died in an accident in the 19th century. And the concept is we actually change slowly, that sudden transformations are in appearance only. The spirit watched a painful episode of a woman spirit detailing her regrettable past actions. Each time she recounted the story, she experienced inner pain. The spirit asked his mentor why she needs to go through this torture. He explained that every time she revisits her mistake, it is like a dressing on a wound. And the more times she analyzes her error, she is learning, she is growing. Healing from a wound is excruciating. The mentor states that her deed will always be a scar within her, but it shall be painless after she is determined she has paid for her wrong. At the end, she will effect a fundamental change in her character for the better. On the outside, she will present herself as an improved person. To her friends, it will appear as if it happened overnight. But that isn't the case. It was long in the making. The spirit's mentor explains. I can well understand your difficulty, he replied, and will try to explain it to you. Never forget that all life is a growth, a gradual transition from what we are to what we shall be by assimilating the influence of every experience through which we pass. Sudden changes are so in appearance only. Closer inspection will show that they are all effects of causes which have been working, silently and unperceived it may be, and preparing developments which escape notice until forced upon our attention by some outward unfolding. All expansion works from the inner to the outer life, but we are naturally unable to admit the reality of anything which lies beyond the scope of observation. In nature, we are not always accustomed to find sharp dividing lines. The darkest night rises by an imperceptible gradient into the glory of the cloudless morning. While it is very difficult for an inexperienced eye to decide at what moment the tide ceases to ebb and begins to flow. You cannot see the movement by which a flower unfolds its petals, yet the action is going on while your eyes are diligently watching. So it is with the spiritual life. It unfolds, never leaps. It flows like a stream, never bounds like an antelope. Its progress is a steady, silent advance, only evidence to us as stages are reached. And this is Through the Mist on page 107. What is he saying? He's saying that when we experience a traumatic occurrence and others notice a transformation of our character, they lay it at the feet of what just happened or it had happened a little time before. The change of character is believed to be solely due to one factor. This is false. The spirit realm is incredibly cunning. Small trials or even other dramatic ones in the past were fashioned to build up our reflexes, our beliefs, and feelings to allow the last episode to be the edge of the fulcrum to cause us to effect a major alteration in our character. The last emotional trauma was only the endgame. There is little to no randomness in our lives. Each phase, from our childhood to our current adult stage, was all manufactured to enable us to transform our character for the better. There is no need for past life regressions to determine what improvements and atonements must be made. Your very life is one great, intensely complicated lesson plan. Understand what the spirit world presents to you. Learn what certain trials mean in the great scheme of things. Read my book, The Problem is the Solution. 7 life complications sent to test and teach you. God bless.